good morning everyone. Good to see so many people in the room for this very important topic. Before I start, I also would like to acknowledge that we are on Gadigal land this morning, and I want to pay my respect to Gadigal people who need to be careful, this is moving. But also pay my respect to all the Aboriginal people in the room. And I was thinking when Django was talking about the calendar, it's really striking how circular economy has been existing for many tens of thousands of years in this country, and how we as a modern nation have to rediscover principles that have been applied to this land for a very long time and have kept this land in the shape it is now. So acknowledging country is something that's really important. So I'm really pleased to see the circular economy for climate and environment coming back to see me again this year. Django and the team, Professor Roch Cheroux from the University of Technology, Lisa McLean, CEO of Circular Economy, the Associate Professor Cheryl from the University of Technology, CINI, and Django, obviously our own leader at Sydney Water. Congratulations, that's absolutely fantastic to have this sort of conferences where we can discuss, we can exchange, we can share ideas about how we can make our world a bit more circular. And I know that I need to be careful here. I'm not going to use all the slides that Django and the team have prepared. So look, it's really important that we've got this sort of conversation, because we know that there are there are many people actually driving circular economy, and I know that all of you are contributing to that in your own capacity, but there's also many drivers that are leading the society that we live in. So having this sort of discussion where we can share ideas and explain what we're doing in our own capacity so that we can join force and make the circular economy more prominent is really important. So when we're talking about mitigating impacts from climate change and adapting to emerging realities, reducing environmental pollution with innovative technologies, managing waste through resource recovery, new bioresources, all these are critical in what we're doing at Sydney Water and more generally in the water industry. In the water, when you look at the water sector, well, here again, a bit like Django, I'm a bit biased, but we believe that we're very well placed to support circular economy and help make it happen. Circular economy is definitely front of mind for Sydney Water. We have worked hard and we continue to work hard to embed circular economy in everything that we're doing. We do believe that water infrastructure is key to not only provide an essential service to our customers every day, but also enabling growth. And I can tell you that we are currently undertaking our largest expansion program of all time to help deliver more housing. And we all know about the housing crisis. This is important for Sydney as it is for many cities in Australia. To do this, we have developed what we call our long-term capital and operational plan, our first ever plan for servicing Greater Sydney to 2050 and beyond. And water is about long-term planning because the assets that we're constructing are usually lasting something like 100 years or more, and we know that they are shaping the city. In the next decades, we're planning to invest about $34 billion. This is a huge figure in any sort of comparison. But the scale of this investment is actually a fantastic opportunity for us to rethink about how we provide services across Sydney. And you may know, but the configuration in Sydney is pretty simple. We collect water from the dams that we've got in the Blue Mountains and Upper Vivian. Then the water flows by gravity, we treat it, and then we supply it to our customers. And then we collect wastewater from all our customers, and most of this waste or used water is then brought to the coast, where it's treated and then discharged back to the ocean. This has worked very well for the last 150 years, but now we need to think about doing things in a different way, in a lot more circular way. So this long-term plan that we've got, focuses on two strategic opportunities. One is to disrupt the flow that we have had for 130 years or 50 years from west to east and decentralize our treatment facilities, and also build new rainfall independent water resources, and that includes desalination, but also purified recycled water. And a plug here, if you've got time tomorrow, go to visit our purified recycled water in Quakes Hill. That will give you an idea of how you can transform the water and circulate it to new water that can be used for everything, including drinking. So this plan over the next 10 years includes a number of things. Purified recycled water is a sort of obvious thing that we need to include into our system, not as the only solution, but as part of all the solutions that we've got on the table. Integrated stormwater management, especially in Western Sydney and in Mamre Road and the Metropolis, is also something that is critical to the plan. Procuring renewable energy to support our net carbon zero emission by 2030 is part of the plan. And investing now is actually the way to ensure that we serve our community and enable thriving, sustainable cities, but also that we keep costs low, because this is what our customers are asking us to do. So this is through a combination of infrastructure renewal, innovative water management, and close collaboration with government agency, the community, academia, and all the parties, all the stakeholders, that we can deliver these resilient and reliable services that our city needs. This is how we can integrate servicing of infrastructure to deliver long-term value to our customers. This is how we can maximize community value through healthy waterways and parks. And this is how we can embed circular economy principles across our planning, delivery, and operations. Interestingly, this approach is not only Sydney Water, it actually has been guided by our customers. It's been guided by a very extensive customer research that we've recently completed. That was our largest ever customer engagement program. It was called Our Water, Our Voice. Maybe some of you have been participating to this. But in the last 2 years, we've engaged with about 13,000 customers. And that was a very thorough engagement where we spent Saturdays and Sundays in a room like this one discussing with our customers about all things water. And our customers have been pretty clear. They've given us 5 top priorities. This is to maintain clean, safe drinking water, to ensure that bills would remain affordable, to maintain clean, safe waterways and beaches, to build water recycling and or desalination infrastructure for drought resilience, and to minimize leaks and breaks to reduce water losses. This is their view that informed our long-term capital and operational plan, as well as our pricing proposal, which was submitted to the Independent Pricing and Regulatory Tribunal just yesterday. And this proposal is actually how the program is approved by the Independent Pricing Tribunal, but also how tariffs are set for the next 5 years. At the heart of this proposal, there are three customer outcomes that summarize all the priorities that our customers have for us. The first one is customer experience. That's about delivering great customer experience, including that bills remain affordable. Second one is about water quality and reliability. Provide safe, clean and reliable drinking water every day. And the third one is about environmental protection and ensure that we protect our waterways and the environment now and in the future. So our customers have given us a clear direction on how they want Sydney Water to move forward as we deliver the infrastructure needed to meet Sydney's growing population. Out of the 34 billion that we have to invest in the next 10 years, a large part of it, about 45–50%, is actually growth. This is the population growing in our city. A number of projects are already underway, which will support growth, but also deliver a more resilient and reliable water supply for all our customers. And many of our customers, as I've said, have got circularity at their hearts. I want to talk about our landmark 1.2 billion Upper South Creek Advanced Water Recycling Centre, which is now about 35% complete and is on track to meet the commissioning deadline of a new Western Sydney International Airport. So this new water recycling centre is going to service the new airport, but also all the new developments in Western Sydney. And this project, we have the ambition that it will actually activate a wider circular economy hub in Western Sydney. That would include obviously water, but also energy, bioresources, and by the way, would create something like about 1,000 jobs, which is significant. So not only that would provide the wastewater services for the 400,000 people that are planned to be living in this area by 2056, but the recycled water that would come out of this project would enable an integrated water cycle management in the Western Sydney aerotropolis. Our integrated water cycle management approach in this Western Sydney aerotropolis will be actually the largest of such scheme in Australia. It is some of the most meaningful and significant work that we can do to improve the circularity of resources, and it does represent a real change in how we deliver our services. It's actually a lot easier to do it in Western Sydney, where it's a greenfield area, than it is to do it in the existing Sydney, but we're also working hard in the existing Sydney. So what's going to happen in Western Sydney? All this area, we will trade buried pipes and drains for natural water channels and wetlands. And you can imagine the landscape there. It will help protect sensitive waterways from urbanization. It will enable stormwater to be collected, treated, and reused for irrigating parks and keeping public spaces cooler and greener. We are also investing into new used water. That's something we're trying to change our vocabulary, and we don't want to call it wastewater, but we want to call it used water. So we're doing that in all our treatment to service growth. We're also spending more on our existing water resource recovery facilities to improve environmental outcome and allow for localized treatments in growth areas and disconnection from our major coastal system. And what you can see here is what I was explaining, disrupting the flow from west to east and keeping the water in its environments. So all these upgrades will also allow for improved recovery and reuse of the scarce resources by investing in the construction and renewal of biosolids facilities. We're also piloting innovative and low carbon approaches to used water treatment using microalgae at our Picton Water Resource Recovery Facility. This is a fantastic project, and we're now more than 12 months into the trial, and we're seeing positive results with a significant reduction in metal levels in the treated water, removing something like 80% of iron, 70% of manganese, 90% of zinc, and also copper and aluminum. But very importantly, it's also reducing the bioavailable forms of nitrogen to almost zero. So when you think about the water that is producing, going back to the environment, to the creek next to it, that's absolutely fantastic. And all this work is done by microalgae, which can be used then producing all sorts of things, including biofuel, and that's really a circular economy at its best. So using, storing and distributing water produces emissions that account for about 10% of all global greenhouse gases, and senior water is also a big energy user. So we have a target to be net zero in our scope 1 and 2 by 2030 and our scope 3 by 2040. 60% of our carbon footprint, scope 1 and 2, is coming from our, that's scope 3, is coming from our construction activity over the next 15 years. This is a huge challenge for us, and finding alternatives like microalgae and a number of recycling activities is critical for us to achieve our net zero ambition. We want to work with the suppliers and all our supply chain and use our buying power to help build a sustainable procurement market. There is a well-established need to keep resources in use at their highest value, and economically design out waste and pollution, but embedding circular economy principles in how we work, it's still a challenge across the sector, especially during a time when we have to minimize cost to keep prices low for our customers. So we've taken steps to improve sustainability in how we procure for our major projects by requiring projects to meet waste targets, by setting carbon and energy efficiency targets in our contracts, and also establishing expectations for recycling materials in asset construction, and obviously recycling of our waste streams. The construction of Upper South Creek Advanced Water Recycling Center is already leading in several of these fronts through innovative trials, and that includes using a hydrogen generator to power the construction site, which is something new in Australia, but also world first sustainable asphalt using back-paved fibers derived from recycled coffee cups and bio-bitumen. And this thinner and longer lasting asphalts achieved a 14% carbon reduction per square meter, which is a good performance. But it's also about replacing sands with recycled crushed glass as pipe bedding on this site, resulting in a significant reduction of material associated carbon emission by something like 40%. And this obviously means less waste going to landfill and addresses also the natural sand supply shortages. So Cine Water is doing things differently in how we procure and deliver our projects to enable better circularity, but we're also making sure that it's embedded in how we work. Unlocking the circular economy is part of our enterprise plan, and we are incorporating clearer material circularity in our strategic investment plans and corporate strategy, so that it's a key consideration for all our projects from the start. We have dedicated employees focused on building the partnerships needed to embed circular economy in everything we do, because we know that as an organization, as a water company, we have a critical role to play in encouraging a more sustainable and circular approach. With this in mind, I would like to invite you to continue to work with us, and if you've not started, to start working with us, because we know that it's only as a collective of individual and organization that we will be able to progress circularity in our society. We know that the world is changing. We know that by 2050 and beyond, Sydney is going to be a very different place. We've got the possibility to make it a lot more circular. And as we say at Cine Water, we've got the possibility to create a better life with world-class water services. And this is what we're trying to do every day. Thank you.